So hello, another video. I'm doing here a short walk in these forests. I've been now like 3 hours here. I wanted to see this lake actually. I haven't visited this and was just curious. Here's lots and lots of lakes nearby. This kind of a highland of lake, this area, this wilderness area, and lots of this kind of inhabited lakes. This actually nature reservoir here around this, and looks to be very nice. Of this bay, I actually can show a bit. It's weird. There's boats on the other side. It's very often like totally abandoned, the boats, and there's no roads leading to there. So I'm wondering, what are they? That there's no big roads here or anything. So sometimes very curious. So these abandoned boats, like what's the story behind them, and it's always intriguing. Finland is really a land of abandoned boats. Often it also tells something that either the lake has good, let's say, perch, even trout or pikes. That's one reason, and another reason is very often that, and I think it's the case here, because this I've heard also, that this lake has good grabs, so in Finnish rapuja. So yeah, but I really have a suspicion. I will going to check those boats out, but I definitely think they're abandoned, so nobody uses those boats. Yeah, but anyways, I'm sorry if I sound a bit out of breath and a bit of down my voice, because I have a flu actually. Have had that now for 10 days almost, so really pesky. Not really a bad one, but it's kind of stays, that doesn't go away, so annoying. And I've been like laying it down, and have been really like 3 days only inside, and I hate it. So it's just today I just thought, okay, I'm whatever is the illness, so I'm just going out to the woods. So I very often find that to be here just a couple of hours even, it really helps. So it's just fresh air, and like I feel like it's also like the balm for the soul to be here. And I love these kind of I love this kind of the stillness of these late autumn evenings. There's nothing quite like it. Just nice swans. Yeah, there's often this kind of very nice stillness in these late autumn evenings. So there's absolutely no sounds, just these swans. You could see a eagle. There's lots of eagles, hawk. The sounds, but there's not this kind of a steady voice of steady voices of summer. So it's just very, very beautiful. It's almost like a meditation. So for me, this is the best meditation. I don't do meditation, but this is for me. This is it. So yeah, it's very nice. Looks to be a very nice lake. So probably going to come here next spring to fish. Maybe even now in autumn. Yeah, very nice lake. Yeah. But on to the matter. So I thought I'd do like a bit of a comparison video and like a bit my ideas, like what makes a good outdoor knife. And I just actually wanted to show these. So here's one knife. The Gunny is that I have used this the longest, and these are brand new ones, and they're a bit different ideas, but it doesn't really matter of the knife. I just want to speak in general of like what makes, in my opinion, a good outdoor knife. And there's larger knives, there's smaller knives, but these are kind of the belt knives, like one tool option belt knives that are, in my opinion, really nice. Well, the Puukko is a bit different from these two, of course. Yeah, the first one, let's go ahead with this one. It's really good knife. It's the Gunny by Bark River. Sorry. It's clip point, Scandivex. Bought this 7 years ago and have been using this a lot. So it's one of my most used outdoor knives. In CPM 3V steel, 4mm the thickness, with chimping. I don't really mind, it is okay. I bought this second hand, and I actually got amazing price for this. I paid like 70 euros or something like this. It's completely new, but anyways, probably would have not picked this kind of clip point, but I actually like this. I like this now because I've used it for fishing. This also has been with me many hikes, and so I can open a fish with this, no problem. And yeah, it's a very good knife. Nice to handle, in my opinion. It's a bit on the thinner side, but for many tasks, it's nice, controllable, nimble to the handle. Yeah, so that is a good one. And by the way, if you're a Bark River fan, I've been watching the channel, maybe this has been like a nice thing to hear. Lately I've been also giving credit where credit is due with Bark River, so did also a video of the Bravo, which I do like. But yeah, the fit and finish is the problem for me with Bark River. It's, in my opinion, problem that they just should fix it. In my opinion, it's kind of a silly problem because they make nice knives. They have good steels, good like reputation in that sense that I do like the heat treatments. For example, here, this just doesn't chip. So I've batoned with this like there's no tomorrow. This really batoned hard with this knife. No problem. It's kind of a big, or let's say like small big knife. So it really is a beauty. Has almost this kind of small survival knife idea, kind of. So yeah, it does a lot. Then let's go with this one. This is the LT Wright GNS in O1 tool steel. Here's the O. Very impressed with this knife, and been using this now. One of my main knives on my belt have been this recently. This and the Tommi Puukko. So this is more like one knife solution. So I can just take this one with me, and I know I can do a lot of things with this one. So I kind of mix things up a bit with like what is my set. So very often I do have like leuku with me, so it's on my backpack. And then I have, for example, Tommi Puukko. This has been a very nice combination now. So leuku and Tommi Puukko with me. Also, this has been with me, so many variations, but this is more like one knife can do it all solution. So beautiful with feather sticks, very nice with woodwork in general. It's not the best, like I go in a while comparing these to the Gunny and this with feather sticks. So it doesn't curl maybe as crazy, but then you get much more versatile, the overall like wood processing like repertoire, let's say, with this. So it's very nice, very I like the blade profile. Opened a few fish with this. Nice the tip. I like the blade geometry here, what they did. So it's sturdy enough. Definitely you can baton with it, but then it's not like too thin. So it's, yeah, I like this. And the handle, it's the most comfortable of all the full-time knives that I have, period. So it's so well rounded, and so I feel like they put extra love with this knife, and this is something which have been lacking with Bark River. So here in this knife I feel it like, and this was my first Bark River, and I was really impressed with this one, because the fit and finish is, there's no like problem with this one. It's absolute perfection, the fit and finish. Still some. Yesterday evening, by the way, heard wolves in the village. So I was just doing a small evening stroll with my dog in the village, and they were very near, the wolves. And it's kind of, it's a windy, rainy evening, and very often that is the time when they do howl. It's when there's a bit of a wind and kind of a bad weather or something, very often. And they come quite close nowadays to the village, and there's lots of discussion now. So what should we do? Because now the wolf population is never been so high as it is now in Finland. So since the 18th century. So, and in the 18th century there was a massive tragedy with wolves. So that they slaughtered lots of children. It's a famous, almost legendary now in Finnish history, this child slaughter of the wolves in early 18th century. And after that, there was like a steady killing spree to get rid of wolves. So, and it never kind of came back, the population, until like now. There was always wolves, but like the population wasn't very big. But now, after 15 years, there's a steady rise of the population, and now in 4 years, there's a, how do you say, like a spike of the population. So, and my opinion, my humble opinion, I'm not a wolf researcher, but my anecdotal experience is that the population is now even larger than they are saying. So, and this is also, they kind of have also been saying this, so the data can be really like minimizing now the population. So I think really the population is very high, and this area where I'm at, this is the hotspot of all wolves in Finland. So here's a lot of wolves. So I've seen now 3 times wolf in this year. So there was one wolf in our garden during a night in the winter. Then I saw 2 wolves during a mushroom foraging trip that was only 1 month ago, and then there was wolf. Actually, it was last summer. I saw it in the village, so a lone wolf. So 3 times, and then I've heard them a lot, and you see the traces everywhere, and then most importantly the carcasses of deers. Yeah. But anyways, I'm rambling. What was my point even? Sorry. Yeah, there was some weird sounds far away that I thought they could be wolves. But anyways, the silence is so beautiful. It almost felt like I don't want to do this video, because I'm kind of destroying the silence of the lake. It's a beautiful lake. Very nice. But anyway, let's go with the knives. Beautiful knife, LT Wright. After 2 knives now from LT Wright, I'm really a big fan. So I like the micarta they choose. So it's kind of a bit more creepy than this Bark River Posh micarta. Fit and finish down to perfection. I like the LT Wright. They don't do too thick the blades. So very nice. This has all the good elements of good outdoor knife. Right. And then this very, very special knife, the Tommi Puukko. And this is a bit of a different animal. Of all my knives, this is the best. Of all the knives that I have, this is the best with woodwork. So this is absolute joy to use. So that is one of the main reasons that I have been now carrying this with me with the leuku. So I feel like that combination is really a nice one, because I have the Eräpuu leuku, which I've done a few reviews. You can baton with that one, you can chop with that one, so that does all the heavy work, but all the other work I do with this, and it's just so beautiful to use it. So I can do small baton, I can do small kindles with this, no problem, but I wouldn't baton too hard with this one. But it's just, for woodwork, you don't feel fatigue in the hand, you don't feel hot spots. This kind of a teardrop form, round form, it's to die for. So, and this is, of course, Puukkos are really old outdoor knives, so they really are one of, maybe you could say, original European outdoor knives. So it is made to do a lot of things. And for example, I've always used Puukkos also, well, not maybe, how should I say it, like when I was like in my early, like teen years, or how do you say, or early adulthood, like almost like up to 10 years ago, I used only Puukkos. So Puukkos were the only knives that I used, and I've used them, I mean outdoor knives, and I used them a lot also as a fishing knife. So I don't know if maybe people are a bit like worried that does the get stains from the blood, the wood, or does it rot, or what happens with the wood? Nothing happens if you take care of them, nothing. So wood is really good material, because it's also grippy when it's wet, no problem. It's light material, so I'm really a big fan of wood, actually. If the wood cracks, then there's a problem with with the manufacturing of the knife. So I batoned a lot. I have a old Martini, for example. You can check the review in my channel. That's my oldest knife. I batoned a lot with that one and used it extensively with my hiking trips, and opened countless fishes with that, no problem. And it's even high carbon steel. So I don't know. But the point was that with Puukkos you can do a lot of things. So, and you can do food prep with this also. You could skin an animal with this. This is so sharp. This is the sharpest knife, like of all the, how do you say, the factory edge. It's not a factory, because this is a custom-made knife, but you get the point. So when I got the knife, it's insane sharpness. So this is a beautiful knife, and yeah, it's not full tang. It's not full tang. So if I would go to a week hike, I would take a big knife with me, but that's no problem, because this is so light, the knife. And then, for example, the leuku, that combination doesn't weigh too much, so I don't have any problems of taking, for example, the leuku and this as my main like knife to a hiking trip if I would do 1 week or something. So no problem. And I could use this to open a fish or whatever. So beautiful knife. One of the great things of Puukkos are also, okay, you don't get the full tang, okay? So this is much more one knife solution. You can really hit hard. This one, I get it. And I'm actually also a fan of full tang. So I have zero problem with that. So I like the full tang construction. So that is not an issue. So I do like full tang knives, but the thing what you get with Puukko is the balance and the lightness, and very often like the comfort, because this is a whole piece of wood. So if it's winter, it's very warm in the hand. If you do a lot of woodwork, it's very, very nice. It doesn't create hot spots, so that I already mentioned. But you get the lightness. And this is just compared with these two. These are great knives, This is on another level when I need to do carving or feather sticks or anything to do with wood processing. Absolutely best. And also what you get very often with Puukkos is nice sheets. So for example, Tommi Puukko, in my opinion, looks nice. It locks in, doesn't drop. I could do this all day, doesn't drop. And you don't feel it on the hip, so it's very, very light. So beautiful. So, and then, so what makes a good outer knife? So it should process of at least some wood. It should do a lot of, like in my opinion, wood outdoor knife should do a lot of things. So that's why we don't take kitchen knives to forest. So outdoor knives are meant to do a lot of things, but then it's kind of where the focus point is. That is where you have the changes. So if you have a full flat grind, okay, then the focus is more on food prep, more on game processing or fishing maybe. So it really is where the focus is. And all of these actually are Scandi. This is a bit different Scandi. It's kind of Scandi Vex. But I do find like I like full flat grinds very much also. So I like them both. It's just for what I use the knife. I then choose either full flat or also full height convex also, and then the Scandi. So maybe 70% of or 80% of all my outdoor activities has to do with the wood processing. So that is where I most often need knife, and it's on every trip. So if I go to the woods, if I prepare a fire, it's immediately I need a good outdoor knife. So and then there's trips when I really have been focusing on food prep. So I just like to do like a bit of a, let's say, finer food in the forest. Sure, then I have a full flat grind. But normally this is the way to go for me, is either a full height convex, for example the Bravo that I have, Bravo 1.25, or then Scandi. And I do like Scandi grinds quite a bit. So they're just so easy to sharpen, they're really easy to maintain the edge, and they're very sturdy, so you can really baton hard with these, and for wood processing it's the best. It is just the best. And this compared actually then to the Gunny, this is the Scandi Vex, the Gunny. So I actually had to thin the edge down quite a bit. So when I got the knife, this was so thick behind the edge, and I just didn't like it. The only thing that it does, or only thing that it did, was very nice feathers. This is one of my best knives for feather sticks, but I just had to thin it down a lot. So now I think I have a nice grind with this one. It's amazing with feather sticks. So this and the Tommi Puukko are probably my most, like, the best knives for feather sticks. So, and with this you can even curl like more than with Tommi Puukko. With Tommi Puukko you get much more other things. So, and I find it's better in feather sticks because you can do with Tommi Puukko lots of different feathers. So it digs deep if you want. You can do very, very fine feathers if you want. So I feel like Tommi Puukko is more controllable, let's say it like this, and this is more like a stubborn feather stick machine. So it does those absolutely insane curls, this knife. So yeah, but anyways, good knife. The Gunny, I notice now that the handle of all the three, this is not my favorite. So for example, opening a fish or something, sure, okay, and some activities, but I do get a bit of a fatigue with this one. It's okay, but I just notice now when I'm comparing it to this LT Wright, oh, this is so goddamn comfortable. This and the Tommi Puukko. So these two might be actually now my favorite new knives. That I noticed that I take these two with me a lot. The foraging season was so intense, so then I just had like my mushroom knife as a neck knife, and then for wood processing I had what was I using? One other Puukko, this Puukko, for example, and Yeah, the Gunny also. Yeah, I had the Bark River, the Bravo also won in few trips, but during summer when I did a lot more fishing, I had the LT Wright large Northern Hunter, and that is really great knife, really great knife. So, and yeah, I'm forgetting Saber. Saber grind is also great. Yeah, it's you can baton with Saber grind quite nicely. I don't have actually too much knives with Saber grind, so I notice I have a bit of a kind of a. I like Scandi and full flat, so the Peltonen is Saber. That's okay, but maybe Saber isn't my absolute favorite grind. I don't know. It depends on the knife. So I would definitely want to have this also as a Saber grind. Would be very nice. But what more? Yeah. So outdoor knife should do a lot of things. For what you use the knife, you just choose the grind. So, like I said, like if I'm doing a fishing trip, for example, I have the TRC Classic Freedom. So if I'm doing a fishing trip, I take that. And with that one, you can also do some wood processing things. It's not the best on that, definitely not so good with carving, but okay, you can do feathers, it's okay for that. But if my focus point is more on the fishing and food prep, then full flat grind, hands down, or Saber, like high Saber, like the large Northern Hunter. And then if you're doing more like hardcore wood processing, Scandi. Scandi is definitely the way to go. Yeah, full height convex also. I think it's on the same category maybe with the. It depends on the grind, of course, on the thickness. But for example, the Bravo, it's very sturdy knife, so it has all the sturdiness of definitely of Scandi, so no doubt about it. And it depends how the convex is done. But convex, full height convex can be really great also. But they're a bit more rare to get. And maybe even with woodwork, I actually do prefer Scandi even over full height convex. It's just the controllability with the Tommi Puukko. This is why I take this so often with me. It's just the pure pleasure of using it. So it may be not the most sturdy knife, but if I have a more sturdy knife with me, so like Leuku and the saw and this is so comfortable. So I just yeah, it's so fun to use. Yeah, but I guess there's not great philosophy about it. So choose the grind and choose also the length. So I forgot to talk about the length. So for example, this is kind of short knife actually, but this is so goddamn sturdy. So you can baton with this easily. Like I said, with Tommi Puukko, I wouldn't baton too much. The one benefit still with this one is that it has the extra length. So I do like as a one knife solution, this kind of 15 millimeter to 120, even 130 is really nice length, because I feel like this does everything I throw at it, absolutely everything. Not the best on food prep, but anyways, I'm continuing here. It's getting a bit dark. I want to check out those boats. I'm very intrigued about that area, and then I will head home. So beautiful evening here. Hey, thanks for watching. See you later.